Welcome to Smosh Mouth. I'm Shayne.
Hi, I'm Amanda, and we have a wonderful guest with us. Our first-time guest, Ted.
Am I the first guest on the?
No. This is the first time you've been here.
I said it all wrong. You are
you got me so
first-time
excited.
person on. Yes.
Okay.
I think Call Me Chris was the first guest.
Man, God.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
I gotta say, I was ready to come in, rocking, rolling, baking biscuits, wind out of my sails.
Yeah.
Oh, hey, don't
That's
let
okay.
Now I'm
my
pissed.
don't let my mistake.
Sorry, man.
Now I'm an
ruin-
adversary.
Sorry to ruin
Don't let
it
my
for
mistake
you.
ruin the intro.
I actually went on your podcast before you ever showed up here.
Oh yeah.
I couldn't tell if that was like a nice.
I don't know.
thing.
Well, no.
I actually
there was
went
a
on.
tone
No, I
to
went.
it.
I went on twice.
Yeah, there was a tone. It's funny, but the way that you said that was
Someone
like
seems
you were mad
mad.
that I didn't show up here,
Yeah.
but you never asked until now.
Someone seems
That's
upset
fair.
about something.
Yeah.
Fair. That's entirely fair.
Let's start over. Hey,
Yeah.
Ted.
Hey.
How do you say your last name? Nivison?
Yeah. Some people say Nivison.
I know. And does
No.
that bother you?
It used to, but now I'm like, now it's more like, oh God, there's so many fools in the world,
Well, I will.
and I'm not one of them.
Nivison makes you totally different, like
Yeah.
a lawyer or something.
I won't lie. Before I met you, when I saw like you were coming in, like this is years ago, and I saw your name, and when you see your name just written out,
Yeah,
it's hard not to
like an
say
optical illusion.
because it looks like television.
Yeah,
No.
And it also
Nivison.
it's also so many YouTubers do like a funny thing with their name
Mm-hmm.
where it's like, oh, you're watching my channel, and it's like you're watching Technovision right now. Like
Yeah.
I thought that was the vibe,
Oh.
and then
like my Instagram, filming Amanda, that I came up with years and years
Yeah.
ago. And I'm stuck with it.
so good. You probably could change it.
No.
Oh,
no.
whoa.
How are people going to find me?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah, they don't know your
I guess
name.
I could just do my full name.
What would you do if you didn't do filming Amanda?
Amanda Panda, 55.
Objectively
Wow.
worse.
Soccer gal.
Really bad.
777X.
That is, you know how like there's a current online sort of a large upswing of anti-millennial rhetoric.
Oh, that's been going on for years.
Yeah.
Amanda Panda, that's gonna get you hung.
That is
That's
yeah.
gonna send you to the
Damn.
guillotine.
That
Okay.
hits the peak of the
I should
millennial
try it.
cringe meter.
Maybe I should get like new merch that says Amanda Panda on it. It's a panda. It's like,
Yeah, and your profile picture is from Icon Has Cheeseburger.
what the hell is that?
You don't know Icon has cheeseburger?
No,
See, this
and
is
we
See,
don't-
now I'm the
See, this
millennial.
is
We
the
don't
problem.
need to do
Amanda,
this.
Amanda kind of exists. I mean, you are a millennial by the year you were born, but like you exist kind of outside of the sphere because you weren't online for so much of your life.
Why weren't you
No.
online for so much?
I
of your
wasn't
life?
like allowed to
She
go.
was outside talking to trees.
I wasn't allowed to go. I had like very limited time that I was allowed to be online or watch TV.
Whoa,
I mean, she
that's-
didn't know who Harambe was. I mean, it's
No.
unbelievable stuff.
I saw the clip. I saw the clip.
That
I
went
didn't know who
viral.
Harambe was. But then again, I watched like Nickelodeon a bunch.
Well, that's
Pretty
not
cool
online.
stuff. Are you afraid of the dark?
Yeah.
Hear me
Yeah.
out.
I actually never watched that. Are You Afraid of the Dark?
Well, yeah, because it was on before we were
What?
born.
No, don't say this.
It's true.
No, don't. No, don't.
It's true. Yeah, no, you're
no.
right.
No, don't. Look, I'm wearing a T-shirt. You're wearing a T-shirt.
I'm wearing a
Come
t-shirt.
on.
We're all
We're
wearing
no different.
t-shirts, guys. We're all part of the great
We're
human
wearing
family.
T-shirts.
You're wearing our merch.
Well, yeah, because I was.
Your shirt was meringue, so we
Yeah,
had to,
no, I was.
So you were forced to wear a merch.
I was oppressed. Much like I am often as I step into the
God.
Smosh studio, even though I'm getting a 1 on bitches.
What?
He was playing this dice game we love
Yeah,
called Bitches.
Courtney introduced me to this dice game last time I was
so
here. It's
good.
just like you just roll a bunch of dice and you're trying to get the lowest score possible. I got 1.
Which is crazy.
And I'm still being asked to change my shirt, change my whole look.
Yeah.
They're
You know,
like,
this-
Ted, we don't really like how low your voice is. Can you speak a little bit higher tone? And I'm
No.
like, that's strange.
It's
Even
not
though
you.
you're the third person to get the SMEGOT.
And I'm
yeah.
glad that you brought that up, Shayne, because if you didn't, I would have.
Wait, really? Games?
I am
Pitt?
a proud recipient. It's like I'm the only one making this.
Let's
a thing.
bring in the award. We don't have one.
No, we
It-
don't.
you-
I got
the
a lot of
award is-
shrugs. I got a lot of shrugs.
Awards
the,
in your heart.
yeah.
Awards in your heart. Wait, so that means you've been on Games, Pitt. I know you've been on Bit City.
Yeah.
'Cause that
I
was,
know you've been on Bit
was that
City.
the first time we worked together?
I think so. Yeah.
When I was the Colonel.
Ah,
That's
great,
awesome.
Great sketch.
Yeah.
Top
I
two.
love this job. It's a whole lot of nothing.
That's really good. That's really
solid.
good.
Next, I want to come on Bit City again, and I want to do something crazy.
Okay.
Because you were kind of playing a voice of reason.
I
Yeah.
was a voice of reason, which
You are.
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm not a voice of reason. I'm
Just
a voice
because
of
you
chaos.
look like you could be like a substitute teacher or an awesome
accountant.
dad.
Yeah.
You're
like-
not a voice of reason. You're wild.
Yeah, sure, I can cook a steak. Don't get me wrong.
Oh, I
Okay.
hope.
You got a mustache. You have to
If
be
I
able
come
to.
over, you're cooking a steak on
Yeah.
a grill that you're going to talk about for 45 minutes.
With fucking truffle salt.
There you go. Pretty solid.
wow.
Yeah, no, but congrats.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll
And-
have you back on Bit City.
For those of you who don't know, because some people won't know, SMEGOT's like one of the greatest things you can get. It's actually better than an EGOT.
Yeah.
Which is an Emmy, Grammy, Oscar, Tony. This is like that, but just Smosh, because I've been on
Life Achievement
all
Award.
the channels of Smosh.
Yeah.
Which is cool. And we kind of fast tracked it toward the end. Like I'd only been on Try Not to Laugh, and then because of my own scheduling issues and ability to wake up in the morning, I ended up on Smosh Games.
That is true.
Wow.
And I almost messed it up this time because I had set my alarm and I woke up an
No.
hour later with the alarm going off. Like,
Ted.
but it shifted out of sound mode into buzz mode.
What are you doing late at night? I don't want
So I'll tell you what happened to me late at night. My problem is I'll go through a big period of working a lot. And I'll be like,
Yeah.
working. And then I'll get out of it, and then I'll get sick. I got a sinus infection, and then I got a fever 4 days later, and then I got like a 3-day tummy ache.
3-day tummy ache?
I don't even know what.
I'm sorry, it
I don't
sounds
even know
awful,
what
but kind
that
of sweet.
was.
You just had a tummy ache.
3-day tummy ache?
I don't even know what it was. But I really
Anxiety.
got into this video game, Wukong. You know Wukong.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, Black Myth Wukong.
So good.
People love it.
Yeah,
So
on the
good.
PS5. And
PS5.
I have a problem when I get into a game or a show, and I'm so glad that they're doing the weekly stuff with Severance.
I
because-
love. Oh no, I'm not watching Severance because I don't have Apple TV. I know. I've already been talked
But
to.
you like the weekly thing though?
Yeah, I love the weekly thing. It's
Yeah,
so good.
because it keeps me honest. It keeps me contained.
You have an hour that you escape.
I finished this game, which has like 95 bosses that you have to kill, in like 5 days.
Oh.
So
Nah,
you
like 6
really
days.
you really go.
No, like I was like rotting. I was.
I
like,
can't do that.
So you
anymore.
I
work.
couldn't. It almost. I started getting. I wasn't sure if it was an ADHD thing. I started to feel like almost like an OCD thing or something, where I was like, I could not pull myself away from this game until I had finished it, so
Right.
I could be free of it.
I understand.
This is
that.
why I don't
I totally
play
understand that.
games.
Yeah.
I played games a little bit when I was younger.
Well, let me ask you a question though.
What?
Would you rather have unlimited bacon but no more video games, or unlimited games but no games?
Did you say bacon?
Yeah. You should know this. You're a millennial.
Wait a second. Wait a second. The bacon part didn't come in the second part of the question. So what?
I feel like I was being.
I think
pretty-
you were
No.
pretty straightforward.
I
on
feel like
that
I was
one.
being cut and dry. Do you want me to ask the question
Yeah,
again?
please.
Okay, so would you rather have unlimited bacon but no more video games, or unlimited games but no games?
This feels like a trick question. I don't really care for bacon. So the second
Really?
The
part.
second one,
Okay.
Yeah, so I want games, unlimited,
but no games.
but no games.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's exactly what I want.
I think pretty
sounds-
great.
yeah,
Yeah,
that
it's
sounds
pretty
good.
awesome.
What do you want?
Oh, you always pick the bacon.
Why?
You always pick the bacon.
Why?
So you mean the second option, because then you get bacon, because the first option is no bacon.
Yeah, there's no bacon even in the second option.
The
Or
first
no,
option.
the first
yeah,
option, unlimited bacon.
yeah, unlimited
Oh, okay, I
bacon but no
misheard.
games.
I
You
misheard.
always pick the bacon.
Are you Gen
Yeah.
Z?
Yeah.
Is this what happens?
This is what happens.
This is what. Can you clarify what you mean?
Am I going to be trapped in this acid trip roller coaster that I'm in currently that has to do with bacon
Gen Z
and
got
games?
served too many ads too early on in their development, and it just kind of.
This episode is brought to you by ZocDoc. Shayne, when was the last time you saw a doctor?
You know, it's been a minute. I need to book a new appointment, and something that can help me do that is ZocDoc. ZocDoc is a free app and website where you can search and compare high-quality in-network doctors and click to instantly book an appointment. I used them last year to find a doctor, and I was amazed by the ease of it. On the app, it helps you find doctors in your location. You can look at their schedules. You can book same-day appointments. I was amazed. I booked an appointment for the next day. And it was just so simple.
Yeah, it's really hard to find doctors within your insurance, but ZocDoc makes it so easy. And if I needed a doctor, I would definitely use ZocDoc.
Absolutely. Stop putting off those doctor's appointments and go to ZocDoc.com/SmoshMouth to find and instantly book a top-rated doctor today. That's ZocDoc.com/SmoshMouth. ZocDoc.com/SmoshMouth.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
Well, I just had to ask you.
I think it's
Yeah.
great.
Just a question.
And now you know I don't really like bacon.
Good point.
No.
It was
Just a
just
He's a millennial
question.
too. He's a millennial
Just
too.
a question. Yeah.
fine. No,
Yeah,
it's
wait.
but I'm one of the
let me
good ones.
position myself so it's
No,
adversarial
now you're
here.
not on camera.
So that you're off.
I'm off my mark now.
Now he's just with Shayne and Shayne shot. That would be cute.
Yeah. Hey.
God.
Sorry, I have I'm long-time podcaster, terrible podcast etiquette with the microphone. Yeah.
okay.
Hey.
There's different
Scott loves it.
podcast vibes because there's the vibe where it's like on a couch, it's like very like more in the wide,
Yeah.
kind of hanging out, and then we're like a little bit more of a back and forth.
We're more like business.
Yeah.
We kind of have the same aesthetic of like those really toxic podcasts you get the clips of where it's
Yeah.
where it's like the dude being like, so is it true that like
Women have
can't do
rights?
this? And they like cut to like someone else being
Yes.
like, what are you even
We
talking about?
bleed
And it cuts
once
back
a
to them
month.
being like, I don't
Ah.
agree.
Yeah, and it's the two-shot thing too, so you can't really tell if it was an actual podcast that was recorded.
Yeah.
Like it's I think
Most
sometimes
are fake, I think.
Yeah, sometimes I think they just get in a setup
What?
and they're like, we're gonna record our TikTok clips.
Yeah.
And we're not gonna make a
No.
podcast. Yeah.
Yeah.
But
Oh,
then I don't like
You seem
that.
almost too upset that these clips aren't real.
I am upset.
Most-
It's like when I learned that the airplane fights aren't real.
most stuff that
Which
you're seeing,
airplane fights?
both of those,
Most of them.
most stuff that you see online is rage bait.
Whoa. Do you not know about this?
Airplane fights?
You know, when you see fights on an airplane,
Yeah.
a lot of them are staged.
Thank you.
like
Good
the
friend.
dog fights that happened in World War II?
No.
No,
Like people
no.
arguing on a like a
What?
commercial flight.
Oh, I thought
Where
you
it's
guys
like, we
were
got to take her out.
I see.
No, we're here to say that
I
World War
thought
One
you-
and World War II never happened.
So no, yeah, that's kind of where I was thinking. I was like, are you guys like
No.
saying that World War II
No.
dogfights specifically didn't
yeah,
happen?
we don't believe in planes.
So
like
wild.
all of World War II fully real. The dogfights,
But the planes
fake.
never fought. They agreed.
That's so
and were
wild that your
peaceful.
brain would go there, Ted.
I just kind of you strike me as a conspiracy theorist.
Damn, dude.
I mean, sometimes.
It seemed like the funniest thing to say.
It's funny.
No, sometimes.
I think the problem is
For
you struck
sure.
a chord. It was real.
Sometimes I go down like full like crime investigation shit and I realize it was all a conspiracy theory
Yeah.
made up by like a web sleuth.
Yeah.
So it kind of.
It's funny how on the internet, if you were on the internet, you used to know a lot of information, but now being so on the internet
It
means
makes
you
you
know
know
the least
nothing.
amount of information anyone's
know.
ever known.
It's just so easy to lie.
yeah.
Like I could pull up TikTok right now and be like, "Do you know that broccoli is actually bad for you?" And then I'd check like 5 hours later, and there'd be a bunch of people believing that.
yeah.
Why.
I read
That's why
a
I stay off the internet.
yeah. You got a text?
I don't know what that was.
That's your morning alarm.
I'll tell you what that
medication.
was. I'll tell you what that was. That was CapCut giving me a notification. CapCut, which I
Love
downloaded
CapCut.
one time to see what a template would look like
Yeah.
on TikTok. Never have
They
used
charge.
CapCut.
They charge, don't
Do
they?
they?
I'm pretty
you
sure
get it
that
for
they
free.
do.
I think they have a free.
Because I also downloaded CapCut and I was like, it's just easier to do it not through CapCut.
Yeah.
So before we move on, we didn't say like what we're talking about this episode.
Oh.
But we're kind of we thought we'd bring you on, Ted, and we would all do a little info dump. We'd all talk about things that we
Do a little
love.
dump.
This was a suggestion I saw in our comments a while ago. We'll see if we can find that comment. But I like the idea, an excuse to just rant about something.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was very fun. But before we continue, also, I was going to say, speaking of like staying up late and working, I have a newfound appreciation for like what you do.
right, because you started your YouTube channel.
I finally made some individual videos, and
Saw
like
that.
the editing process is absolutely insane.
You want to hear something funny? When you launched the channel and then released that next video in the speed that you did, I haven't watched the new video, but I was like, damn, how do you get that out so fast? How the you do that?
well, I feel like because I made that, I edited it, and then I was like, okay, and then I watched your recent one as of right now,
My
your
Twitter
Twitter
one?
one,
Yeah.
And like the editing is just so much better, obviously. Like
Well,
I'm just
thank
like,
you.
Wow.
and you're putting in so much more assets. You're throwing.
What do
to
you
things.
edit on?
A Premiere.
I'm a Da Vinci guy.
Fancy.
Da Vinci. See,
Fancy.
it's like choosing a language, like the language you learn in like high school or something early on. You know, it's just like you kind of
Once you
stick
know
with
it.
it, and then like you might not even like Spanish after 4 years or whatever, but you chose Spanish at the beginning, and you know.
Look,
Yo
What a
hablo.
hot take.
Yo
fun,
hablo.
fun little behind the scenes peek. Smosh uses Premiere, so
Really?
that's where
Yeah.
Premiere people.
Wow.
But I did Da Vinci.
I
'cause
would have
it's
thought
free.
with all the call sheets and stuff, you guys would have been using Avid.
You,
My God.
we're fancy, but no Premiere.
Look at you.
But it's very impressive.
Thank
It's a
you.
good character
But your
for
stuff
you.
is really.
Yeah. So contextually, no, should we? I shouldn't even say it. I shouldn't
No,
even. No, we should
probably
keep
not.
it a secret.
No, it's
yeah.
good. Secret between us.
Yeah. Now you guys know that there's a secret, and you guys don't get to know.
Oh,
Not a secret.
and maybe we'll reveal it. No, we won't.
We won't.
But your stuff is you do some high lift stuff.
Thanks.
Like
Look at that.
You and the whole crew of you guys, like Eddie and I mean, there's just a bunch, like the video essayists. Like I'm very impressed with what you guys do.
Thank you.
I simply don't have the time. to
Yeah,
do
it's
what
definitely
you
a
guys
time
do.
sink. Like that Twitter video was tough because I was like, okay, I'm gonna talk about my opinions here. So now I gotta like make sure what I'm talking about is like correct, and so I have to do like research, and then like it's like that took me like a whole week just to kind of like figure out like the research and like the writing of it all, and then I've actually been. It's funny because I don't have like a structured sort of situation like you guys are given. Here you're coming in this amount of hours.
We've got a
during the
system,
week.
yeah.
Like a month set
Oh,
up.
I'm so jealous of the system. So I've been trying recently to like claw at ways that I can have a system. So I now have an app that I track my own hours to see
Cool.
how
Wait,
long I work.
Is it called Harvest?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. All right.
But that's
It's called Shift Flow.
Oh, that sounds cooler.
Yeah.
But that's got to be tough because you do just operate on your own.
Yeah.
You are in charge of when you want to release a video and when
Well,
you want to work
exactly.
on it.
And I have for years I would have no idea how long it would take me to finish a video because each time like the video would be kind of like different, and then it'd be like, when are you gonna have this video up for the sponsor? And I'll be like, that's a great question. That's a great question. But now I know, at least with like a commentary video like that's about 20 to 30 minutes long. It takes me about little bit more than 30 hours to edit.
Yeah.
30 hours to edit.
Yeah.
That's actually impressive because, like
And your videos are over 2 hours?
No.
Over an hour?
No.
a half hour to an hour.
I have one video that's an hour and 48 minutes long, but that took me like 2 months to make.
Holy shit.
Well,
so
longer
30
to
hours
film,
30
right?
hours for 30
That's
minutes.
That's the Barbie one, yeah, where I watched every
Oh.
Barbie movie ever made, and then it's
I
connected
must.
a lore.
I must watch
connected a
this.
lore
stuff.
that connected all of them together.
You need to watch the legendary one, which is the
The
Rainforest Cafe.
and the Margaritaville
he
sagas.
and Eddie Burbach went to every single Rainforest Cafe.
Why?
That's a great question.
Why did you do that?
Why did you do that?
Well, it was because when I was a kid, I went to the Rainforest Cafe. There was
okay.
a mall in Massachusetts that they had a Rainforest Cafe that I'd done some.
Where are you from?
I'm from Acton, Massachusetts.
I'm from Easton, Mass.
Wow.
Wow.
Kinda know
Acton
where
and
that is.
Easton. Great
Yeah.
enemies.
Here's the thing. I kind of know where Acton is.
Yeah, I kind of.
What's next to it?
Concord and Maynard and
Yep.
Carlisle and Westford.
You're a little bit
It
far from me.
I'm like in Middlesex.
I'm like
Or I'm not
Mansfield,
anymore.
Foxborough.
Okay, I know
Brockton.
Mansfield. I know Mansfield.
Really?
We're gonna keep doing
How
this.
do you guys feel about Glendale,
you know
Arizona?
Gloucester? You know
Of
Worcester?
course I know Gloucester. Worcester? Yeah, I went
You
to
ever go to-
school at UMass.
Oh,
Amherst.
okay. You ever go to the Cape?
My mom lives in the Cape.
Oh, she does.
Should I not say that?
You can say that.
It.
The Cape
Cape's
is a
massive.
large area. Yeah.
She lives in the Cape. I used to live
nice.
on Martha's Vineyard.
What? Really?
Yeah.
My family would go on
Bye,
vacations in Martha's Vineyard, and like
What?
Yeah, we would go on vacations in Martha's Vineyard, and I was in Martha's Vineyard last summer. We were in
So was I.
really
Yeah.
when in July.
For like a day. No, August.
I was in July. I spent a week in like Oak Bluffs.
That's where I lived for 8 months.
Really?
I rode my bike and I worked at Chowder Company, but I don't.
Of course, you worked at a
That
chowder
was like
company.
forever ago. That was 13 years ago. Yeah, he's such a
You worked at
bastard.
a chowder company
No.
and Dunkin' Donuts in Boston.
We don't like
You
Shayne.
literally- Are those the only two places of business?
Here's the
is
deal.
Boston?
Okay.
I do this because I have to with Shayne.
Yeah.
I don't enjoy it.
the it was just funny. It was funny. I was like, we were flowing, and he was like, "Of course you work at a chowder company. Of course you work at a
He doesn't
chowder
like being
company."
left
Where,
out.
where are you from?
Arizona.
That's nice. So okay. So I'll tell you one thing. Like, do you ever have like one of my dreams of like the high tier dreams of like where
Yep.
of like here's what I'm gonna do if I'm mega rich.
Yep.
I get a house.
Get a
on
house on
Vineyard.
Martha's Vineyard.
Yeah, get a
I've
house
thought
on
about
Martha's
it.
Vineyard.
Oh, you
so
gotta
much.
be. You gotta be. Old
I will
rich.
say I would want to also maybe get a house like near Woods Hole because then you can take the
Okay,
ferry over to
yeah.
Martha's Vineyard and it's I don't know if it's cheaper, but it might be a little cheaper because Martha's Vineyard is very
I
expensive.
just feel like the whole Cape and Martha's Vineyard and everything. But and you know what? And I'll say another thing. Nah, fucking Nantucket though.
No.
Nantucket.
Although I will say if you put on a little Vineyard Vines, honey,
that
you
used
could
to be
clean
my
up
stop.
Nantucket.
That used to be my, ironically, by the way, because
What?
Because it's from Martha's Vineyard, Vineyard Vines.
I know. I know.
I used to be a Vineyard Vines guy, and
Right.
growing up in Massachusetts,
Ted.
where are you from?
Arizona.
I was born in
So
Florida.
growing up, I mean, okay, we have to stop this. We have to stop this.
We just stop. We
I
can
like
do it.
how we haven't gotten to the info dump, but
No,
you guys just are info
we'll do
dumping
it on
Massachusetts.
we'll do this on our own time. But how did I not know this? Because honestly,
This is the second
you guys
time
both
we've
over
been in
60
person.
now
tall.
you, that's true. But now seeing you in Vineyard Vines, yeah, I know.
Now this is starting to hurt.
No, hey, no, I don't.
I'll tell you what.
such a huge
I'll tell you what.
Don't worry about
Knee,
it.
salmon above the knee shorts, then Sperry's.
Yep.
No socks.
Oh yeah, of course
No
not.
liner sock that hides either.
So you can take them off.
Stinking
in the
it up
sand.
in them. And then the salmon, but then like
Button down,
like
bright pink.
yeah, Neapolitan colored naval collared
Yeah.
shirt.
And this hair.
Some of them
this
shark
look,
beads.
This look, mustache and everything. You think I'm dissing you? I'm not.
Well, I was changing my whole look, and then you were like, "You don't need to change a single thing. you just stay the way you are, and then you're perfect for this completely different type of person."
No. Anyways, we'll
She
get
lost me.
lunch.
So
So where are you from?
now you're not the favorite anymore.
Damn it! This sucks.
So where are you from? This is real now.
Oh, this is real now?
Mm-hmm.
Born in Florida, then Virginia, then Arizona.
Whoa!
Military family.
Wow.
So,
Military brat.
military brat, moving around. My dad was in the Air Force, flying around.
Oh wait, I know
That
this.
is so
I know all
cool.
this.
Yeah, you know this stuff.
Yeah, I was like, I've definitely heard him talk about this before.
Yeah. Anyways,
Anyways,
editing,
let's.
crazy
Editing
shit.
is crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I understand the because when I get into it, you can lose track of time.
Yeah.
And I'd be like, oh, my whole day is gone suddenly.
Yeah. Oh, doing like editing.
Yeah.
Yeah. A lot of times I feel
love
like
it,
I'm.
though.
Sometimes, especially if there's a sponsor due date, I'm like running and I'm trying to like finish it, but like there's a certain once you get more into it, it turns into this thing where there's a certain level of quality you'll reach with a certain video, and then that becomes the standard, and then
See, I need to set the bar really
Yeah.
low, and I
and you have.
and I think, and you're doing it. But I don't think any of my viewers are expecting anything,
Right.
Because like this is what I do.
Yeah.
This is my
Right.
job. So this is just a fun little thing.
It's more for fun.
I saw that both you and Courtney have started this.
Courtney's been
push.
uploading videos for a long time.
Oh, really?
Oh,
I
yeah.
feel like okay, in that case then I just saw you both post a video
Same.
around the same time then.
Totally.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But for you in particular, like you just looking for some extra cash?
No, I've always wanted to. I've always wanted to do it for fun. And
okay.
I think it's always been a big point of insecurity
Yeah.
that I had never done the process on my own.
Oh,
So
wow, that's an interesting.
It's like a creative push.
that's
No,
an
truly,
interesting
when I-
complex that I've never considered that one could have. But I get it. Like
No,
I would definitely feel like that if I was in your position. I would feel really bad.
Yeah, I did. No, because
I'm
like
so glad
when
I'm
I
not the
first
favorite.
joined Smosh, Defy like set up a YouTube channel for me.
Yeah.
They're like, here's your YouTube channel, and so like make stuff.
Oh,
on it.
really?
And I was just like so thrown into
Oh,
this
so you've
world.
had it since then.
I've had it for the channel has been there for 10 years.
I will say-
okay. To be fair, you guys are really busy.
Yeah.
We are really busy, but I will say
I
it's
always
so
had-
nice to start something and edit it on your own. Like, I loved doing that before I got really busy
I
here.
really just wanted to do
so
it for
fun.
fun. And so I just was procrastinating. I was getting in my head. And then I was like, I just need to do it. And so I'm doing
And the
it.
thing is, too, I think that if you definitely opening up without any sort of like high expectations of the quality of it will definitely, it'll free you a little bit.
Oh,
like I have,
totally.
I've got like 3 videos that are getting ready to come out on this second channel that I haven't used in like 4 years. And I'm like trying to post more on there of just like kind of Garbo videos.
But people love
or my
Garbo.
perception of Garbo videos. Because like my main channel is just like, it is a creative outlet, obviously, but it's also the chains that bind me because
Right.
I place so many restrictions on myself on what is
Right.
allowed or what is valuable enough to be a video.
Totally.
That it's tough. And so like if you allow like Smosh to be like, this is where my main magic happens, and then you can just be like, hey, I'm just f***ing around on here. I think that'll take away a lot of the
I mean, my
pressure.
mindset now is like, I didn't use it for 10 years, so who cares what I put on it?
Yeah,
now?
sure.
Yeah.
So anyways, let's get to some info dump.
Let's get to some
Who
dumping.
wants to start? Who wants to talk about shit?
And me?
I could start. You could start, Amanda.
I definitely need to. I want to see
You
some.
want to see someone else?
I want to see
rant?
someone.
Here's the thing. My info dump doesn't have all these like crazy facts.
Well, I don't know
That's
if
okay.
I like don't. My info dump, I had to like kind of update myself on because it's an info dump that I learned about when I was like 5 years ago. So I don't know how long I can.
That's
Okay.
okay.
My info dump is more okay. I'll go. My info dump is more like a hot take.
Okay.
Okay.
It's just something I'm interested in. I think the viewers kind of know that I'm interested in this, but this is like a real thing. So I love true crime. But my hot take is that international detective shows are 1,000,000 times better than American detective shows.
Okay.
Sherlock.
Sherlock's good. I'm talking like
Broadchurch.
Norway. Like, and yeah, the country.
Where they
Like
have like one. They have
Norwegian.
like one crime a year. So like when it happens.
No,
it's
they
huge.
actually have like some really weird crimes, and they'll do. And you know how Netflix is very international. They'll do like all these amazing series, and they're just so much better than American ones.
What type of crimes are we talking?
murder.
Well, one of my favorite shows ever on HBO, which was like, I feel like Americans would be like, this is why I like it, because they're slower. They're more intense about the acting. They feel like they grabbed like the best stage actors and they did a detective show. Whereas I feel like American shows, they add in all this fluff and like fun, almost like sterile, quippy words that make me be like, ugh, okay. And it's like rushing. Whereas I feel like Norwegian kind of international detective shows are slower. There's one called The Investigation on HBO.
Are these documentaries or are these?
They're
fiction.
a lot of them are real stories that they put into detective shows.
Oh, so like NCIS. So this is like equivalent to like NCIS. I wasn't sure if this was like,
no,
Because those are episodic.
no, not NCIS. That's procedural.
I'm so sorry.
I can't believe you, Ted.
I'm so sorry.
No,
So disrespectful.
No, it's
No, I'm and you know what? This is your thing.
No.
And I'm sorry that I came to you just assuming.
no, it's okay. You can ask questions. Just don't be
so
dumb
sorry.
about it.
No, I told myself last time I was here, you were like, we were doing the scene on Bit City, and I tried to do a thing, and you were like, stop. And I was like, I'm sorry.
I think I actually did do
Yeah,
that.
and it was like,
What was this?
No.
yeah.
I was
No,
in-
she like, and she put the script in my hand.
Wow.
She was
I
like, and she
didn't.
was like, read it as it's written.
I did it.
Tommy worked really hard on this. Tommy worked really hard on this. Say his
not-
name, and I'm like, Tommy, Bo.
No.
And she's like, yeah, that's
no,
right.
Ted. Okay.
So I'm sorry that I came to you.
I
like,
got
assuming-
too comfortable. I got too comfortable, Ted. It was our first time filming together. I was dressed as the colonel.
You were also in character.
I was the colonel, and I got too comfortable with him. So I was just like, nah. Or what did I say? I was like, look at your script.
That's insane.
Oh, I don't know what you're talking
I
about.
said something like, oh, look at your script or something like that.
Oh no, when I didn't know the lines and
yeah.
you know the part when I didn't know the lines.
Why are we
Are
going
you talking
back
about the part
here?
when I didn't know the lines and
need-
you were like, look at your fucking script. That's where the solution is in the script.
Oh, Ted gave me a look of like, oh, look in those scripts. And I was like, oh, shit.
I don't.
I got too comfy
honestly,
with him.
I don't remember this, and so
okay.
I hope I can really like. Speaking seriously, I think I don't know what you're talking about when it comes to that.
No, it's okay. I brought it home and mulled over it for hours, and then I
Really?
moved on.
You know what I mulled over?
What?
The fact that I've sent you 4 contiguous messages on Instagram of separate content, and you haven't responded to any of them.
Here's the thing. And I know
sent
that's
you
the
a
first thing you
meme.
said.
I sent you a meme.
What
That's
was the
how.
meme?
That's how.
Don't. Here's the thing. That's the first
I don't
thing
even know if it's good.
That's the first thing he said to me, and I
be
do
good.
not read my messages on Instagram. I'm bad. They overwhelm me.
Mm-hmm.
But
yeah. This one's good.
let me see.
This one's good.
You're gonna show Shayne first.
That's pretty good.
That was-
That's
it was like-
specifically good for Amanda.
Let
Yeah,
me see.
that's how I feel every day.
I hate you.
It's
That's
like
actually
it's like a photo of it's like this
Oh.
Greco-Roman or like Renaissance photo of this like Plato looking off into the distance, and it says how it feels to explain a meme that requires years of being chronically online for it to be funny.
Yeah,
That's actually brilliant, and
a
I never
screenshot of
saw
that.
it or laughed at it.
that sucks.
Yeah, you
Because
never
I-
saw it, you never laughed at it, you didn't even chuckle because you didn't even know.
But here's the thing: isn't that better?
No,
Imagine
it's
if
not,
I
because
read
you
it all and
try
didn't
to be-
respond. Imagine if I read it all and didn't respond.
Oof, brutal.
Ooh, that would have been rough. Yeah, no, I would have myself.
No, don't, Ted.
No, I would have. I
You're
would have,
never
and then
gonna
I
get that
would.
house
I
on
would have
Martha's
never
Vineyard
gotten
if
my
you
got because I
yourself.
would have myself.
No, don't.
The news would have said Ted shot with gun because of Manda.
Because of Manda.
Because of Manda Panda.
Because of
55.
Manda Panda 50. Oh, you're gonna add numbers in? Like
And the
your
head-
ideal
Yeah, it's my
username
favorite
has
number.
numbers in it.
That's my favorite
The
number.
headline in big letters would have been Irma Gerd, and then it would have been that.
Yeah, and it would have been a cat.
Wow.
I would have been a cat going.
We have a lot to work through, you and I.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, anyways.
So True Detective.
no, it's more like, it's not True Detective. It's more like True Detective,
Yeah.
right? But some of them are based on
It's a
true stories.
series.
And yeah, NCIS is
They got to
procedural.
really draw it out. So you have like 5 episodes where it's raining, and they're just like looking at each other dramatically.
And that's the best part, is that you never get to see like Norway landscape and American detective things. So it's always cold. They're wearing gorgeous big sweaters.
Wow.
And it's chilly. And the acting is so good. Wow. And it's just real.
What are the crazy crimes?
Well, the one that I watched, the investigation was about a real crime. It was really actually very messed up. It was about a submarine.
What?
Yeah. It was back in the day. Not back in the day,
Like a
but
Russian
like years
submarine?
ago. No. Norway. No.
I just kind of assumed that it would be Russian. I
no,
didn't know
it's
they
not
had
Russian.
those.
This isn't The Rock. Isn't that The Rock?
Yeah.
Russia?
Anyways. So no, this one is about a journalist, a female journalist who went on this billionaire submarine and was never seen again.
Whoa.
True story.
Okay.
And so the investigation is about the slow moving process of the investigation of finding her.
I didn't realize people could just own a submarine.
If you're a rich
I
billionaire.
guess if you're a billionaire, you can kind of do whatever you want.
Yeah.
very sad, very upsetting. But
Oh.
sorry. But it is very sad. But the acting and the way they did it is so good. And then there are other ones that are not true stories. There are other ones that are like actual like The Killing, right? But it's like actually The Killing was an original Dutch investigation show. Anyways, those
They
are my
have
hot
trolls.
takes.
They have trolls and stuff up there too.
Yeah, they're the ones doing the murdering.
Yeah.
It's really
In
sad.
Norway, the
In
trolls.
Norway, it's all trolls.
See, that's why I would never visit Norway, is because of the troll problem.
What?
The troll problem, man.
Okay, I think I've mentioned this before, but I grew up with like 2 19-year-old
Trolls.
We call them au pairs. They're trolls. They were from Norway, and they were like 19, and they taught us that there were trolls everywhere. And why they were there was because if you did anything wrong, they were always watching. So anytime, if you turned your back really fast, you could catch
It's
them.
like a society of Santas. That's terrifying.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The ones with the jewels in the belly. And they look like old people. Those are the trolls.
Yeah.
I think they're awesome.
What type of jewels?
Yeah, whatever.
Like sapphires or like
It could be like
emeralds?
sapphires or emeralds or amethysts.
You want to hear something funny that I can't stop talking about? Speaking of sapphire,
Oh.
that's where it connects here. But
Tell
I'm
me.
gonna lose it if I don't mention
me.
it. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I know. I'm
No, don't
coming
be
ri-
sorry. This is great.
So I had an epiphany the other day. There's no there's Grindr, there's all the regular dating apps, but there's no like lesbian dating app, right?
Is there?
So Troll Sapphire
Is there a lesbian
is
dating
this.
app? Does anyone in this room know?
There's not.
There's not.
No, which
so
is
I had
insane.
a great idea, and I pitched this to my friend who is a lesbian, and I was like, they should make a lesbian dating app and call it Sapphire.
Sapphire feels like rich.
Good, no, because
So it's only rich lesbians.
of sapphic.
I understand where you're going.
So I told because it's sapphic. That's
Right,
there's a
right.
pun there.
Yeah.
But I told my friend Tucker about this, and I was like, dude, they got to make a lesbian dating app. They got to call it Sapphire. And his response was, oh, dude, that's a great idea. Women love sapphires.
No.
And I was like, that's not why I would be calling it that.
No.
Oh.
And
It was
Kyogre-
awesome. It was
I
awesome
don't
because
know
he
if
was so
women
supportive,
love
but he just had it
sapphires.
fully wrong.
Oh, because you call it diamonds. I don't know if women love sapphires. I mean, they're gorgeous.
But he was so with it. I mean,
Oh, women love sapphires, so two
women
lesbians will love this app.
yeah, this is the perfect logic trail to follow.
Wait, why isn't there a lesbian dating app? That is actually insane to me.
That's. I guess I can't be surprised when we also learned recently like that there's hardly any lesbian bars. Like there's gay bars and stuff, but there's not really any lesbian bars.
Yep.
Yeah.
No, it's true.
Completely neglected.
It's true.
Sad.
There's like some in San Francisco, but okay. It's kind of far away.
But who lives there?
Yeah.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. Not enough lesbian bars. I guess we should work on that.
Yeah, they
Us
need
lesbians.
us to do it.
Come join Sapphire to find your
imagine-
flame.
Sapphire's desire.
Imagine a lesbian dating app comes out and it's like you're the creator. It's like
Yeah.
who made this and it's you on the.
Women love sapphires. Get on here and find your match.
I'm gonna make
Well.
so much money from that. Thank
Yeah,
you
you
guys.
My
Anymore?
info dump is done because I can tell you guys have never seen like an international.
We're
They're
So
so good, and the acting is so much better.
whoa.
Sorry,
Maybe it's because they're speaking another language and you can't decipher how bad they are.
yeah.
I think about
you
that
can
sometimes.
just tell.
Oh, okay.
It is still.
You can just, and it's slower. You have to be really into like crime shit. Like, you know how I love watching like court stuff?
Mm-hmm.
You have to be really into like the slow process of it. I think that's why I love it.
I feel like maybe
hot
the
take.
acting is different because I feel like a lot of those crime shows that they have now, they're pooping them out. It's like they're
what I mean.
they're just shitting
Why
them
is
out.
that making me laugh?
What?
They're pooping them out.
They're pooping them out. Whereas, like, I feel, it's not like they're in Norway. I can't imagine that they're rocking the same amount of budget and frequency of
they like
projects
release it
as.
once every year or every
Yeah, so
7.
they're like they're
Taking
locked. They're locking
You
in.
gotta
They're
make this
locked
count.
in.
Yeah, they're getting the best actors in all of Norway.
That's why.
Yeah.
Yeah. Americans are just pumping it out. There's too many.
So many
And
crimes.
they're all very punny. It's like the cross, the line. Like, I don't know if those are ones, but I feel like they're always like police tape phrases.
Raw crime.
Exactly.
Police scanner.
Yeah. Oh, that should be a good one.
Really?
Yeah. The guy has like abilities and he can find people with scanning them.
Wait. Okay. So they have superpowers now.
No,
They could.
but they could. We pitch on this show.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're artists.
Yeah.
Okay, I'm done.
I mean, I guess I can try.
my
So like,
Jesus.
whatever, guys, whatever. Okay, this is why I keep changing the topic because I don't know how much I have to talk
That's
about.
okay.
That's
Okay.
why I keep throwing you guys off. I've been socially engineering this podcast.
Oh, okay. That
All right.
it's fine. I only had like 5 minutes of it.
Okay, when I was really into Halo, the game Halo, you know Halo.
I do. Such a good show. I actually stopped watching.
That's not.
Is that the only thing you know about Halo? Is that
Sam?
show?
I never played Halo,
Okay.
I feel like that's so crazy.
but it would be fun.
I never played much Halo.
Well,
Wait,
but
I
this
think I
just
played
means
it
that
once here.
this just means that she thinks that Master Chief doesn't usually wear his helmet.
that's true.
When in the games, he never took it off.
yeah, because in the show he took it off a lot,
Yeah.
and
yeah.
I was like, "There he is, Master Chief."
yeah. I'm curious. Can you break down that tone for me? Do you like Master Chief or are you against him or?
I like him
Okay.
in the show.
It didn't sound like you did.
No, I like when he takes off his helmet.
Oh.
Oh, Not just his helmet.
She's got a crush on Master Chief.
I like Master Chief. He's hot.
Yeah, no,
He's 8 feet tall.
he is.
I like that.
Oh, that I didn't know that for a long time. Like,
Really?
I'd like play Halo. I'd watch friends play Halo, and then it was like revealed to me at a certain point. It was like, yeah, he's like 8 feet tall. I was like, what?
And his creation was written.
Yeah.
Because, you know, like millions of years ago, in the Halo lore, there was a species of creatures called the Precursors. And the Precursors basically kind of like invent, and you know, there's going to be some Halo goblins that are going to be listening
I
to
was
this.
going to say they're going to be on your ass.
They're going to be on this. And this is just me after updating myself on it and having read the Wikipedia when I was 16.
It's fine.
The Precursors, they kind of like are God in some ways. Like they created, or like they're the first intelligent species that existed millions of years ago.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure that they created other species. So they like made like fucking humanity, and they made the Forerunners. You know about that from the show? Is that, they talk about in the show, the Forerunners?
The Forerunners.
Anyways.
Those trucks that
they
people get on?
made the Sangheili.
That sounds familiar. Cortado?
Oh, God. Oh. Oh.
That's a critical blow right there.
Oh, my God. That cleared my sinuses.
Your tummy ache went away.
Oh, my God.
Don't cry on this show. Don't cry on the show because I take risks, okay? I take fucking risks on this show. Don't cry for me, honey.
Oh, my God. Cortana. Cortana is crazy. Cortana?
Yeah, I know.
Cortado sounds like her drunk uncle or something, and she's like an AI
I
program.
created a new character.
Oh my God, Cortado. That's awesome. Oh my God. He sounds like he eats burritos and doesn't move.
There you go. Anyways.
He's wearing a Hawaiian
Oh my
shirt.
God, I'm crying. That's so
so
funny.
true.
That's so funny. The wonder in your eyes when you said it. It was
I
like,
know.
Cortado.
It's like genuine.
That was awesome.
Papa, Cortado.
Papa Cortado.
Because I thought you were going to look at me and go, wow, you do know a lot.
I know. And it was so.
Opposite.
That was. Oh my God. That was amazing.
That's every day.
That was like, I hope that I can feel the funny. I hope I can get that again someday.
You will.
When I just
probably keep talking. Give 15
Oh my God,
minutes.
that was amazing.
That happens here every day.
Yeah, it's all the time here.
Cortado. Wow. Okay, sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah, where was I? Oh yeah. So the Precursors, they made a bunch of species and stuff, and then they made the Forerunners. The Forerunners are like, they got really, really advanced, and then they started getting a little bit egotistical, and they started being like, yeah, no, I don't think we need these Precursor guys anymore. And they, the Precursors, they're sort of in charge of, the galaxy. They're in control of everything. They have this thing called the Mantle of Responsibility, which is like this sort of role at the peak, being like a sort of a tier 1 or tier almost 0 civilization, where it's like tier 7's like pretty low, like tier 0 is really high. Like,
Okay,
they can do
backwards.
Like, they can go faster than light travel. They can, they can make big, huge structures the size of planets, stuff like that.
Okay.
And they can make intelligent life. You saying that, the way that you're being like, yeah, it feels like you're not getting any of this.
I'm getting it. I'm just trying to figure out where it was in the show.
Never in the show, all before. This is like millions of years ago.
Damn.
This is millions of years ago.
Okay.
Then the Forerunners were like, we don't really like the Precursors anymore. We kind of want the Mantle of Responsibility. So they go into a war with the Precursors, and I think that they won, and then the Precursors were like, man, what are we going to do? Guess we're going to turn ourselves to dust.
Where does Master
They
Chief
just turn
come into
themselves
play?
to dust?
Yeah, it's a way to like survive further.
Oh.
Like hopefully later on they would like be revived from the dust. But then the dust got corrupted and it turned into a little thing that we like to call the Flood.
The Flood?
Yeah.
Whoa, I don't know any
You
of
know
this.
about the Flood?
So where?
You play Halo 3?
No, I never played Halo.
Oh.
This is an info dump for all
Okay.
all them out there.
So the Flood is. We got any Halo players in here?
Whoa, you're alone.
Am I in a room?
Scott over there.
Are you rocking with this?
One look at Scott, and you know he played Halo.
Scott's like,
You played 1 and 2? Oh, you know about the flood.
he's just like,
Scott knows about the flood. The flood is sort of this like hive mind galactic level parasite virus.
Okay.
That is controlled
Okay.
by a larger intelligence called the Grave Mind. And it is like there's no cure for it. And we're talking like the highest level of civilization you could ever possibly have. They can't kill this shit. It's taken over planets. The only way to try to stop it is to glass a planet, which is like shooting lasers at it until the entire surface of the planet is glass. And they're just destroying planets to try to stop this. Because they'll like imagine like this parasite thing, and it like can take over your body, and then it can control it, and then like it's part of the hive mind. So then it can like, and this is an intelligent hive mind, like a super intelligent hive mind. So it can like take over like a planet, and now it's got control of like the ships. You know, like the spaceships and stuff, and now it's like going to other planets.
Damn.
So that's how it's
Is
spreading.
that the main enemy of the games?
It's one of the enemies.
That's
Like
just one bad guy?
that's like an ancient enemy that it's like a tertiary antagonist of the Halo series where
we
it's
just always know it's there.
yeah, and it's like kind of like the reason for the Halo arrays.
The arrays?
The Halo arrays. You know about this.
Like what your shirt did and why you had to change shirts.
Yeah. The Halo array is why I had to
The
change my
Halo
shirt.
array.
So, fast forward some time. Fast forward some time, and humanity also existed 100,000 years ago, millions of years ago, as this spacefaring civilization. That's pretty crazy, right?
Whoa.
In the lore of this thing. Humanity was a spacefaring civilization. They were super advanced. Apparently, they were a little bit physiologically different than we are now. Like they were like taller. That's how I got into the thing. They were a little bit taller.
Oh.
And apparently more intelligent, which kind of is a bummer.
Well, they
Yeah.
were spacefaring.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
taller.
so they were kind of like, they were also in the galaxy, and they had a bunch of planets, and the Forerunners had a bunch of planets, but humanity ran into the flood at one point, and they were like, what the hell is this? And they're fighting the flood.
Is that Master Chief?
Not yet. This is 1,000,000 years ago. They're fighting the flood, and then, you know, flood's winning. They're kind of getting pushed out of their territory, and we're talking like on a galactic scale, a bunch of planets. And they're like, okay, well, we need to make up for this territory. So they start taking Forerunner planets because they're like running from the flood. But then the Forerunners are like, you guys are starting a war with us. You guys are attacking us. We're going to fight you back. So now it's like humanity's like a pincer thing where the Foreigners are fighting them and whatever. Humanity basically gets their ass kicked because they're fighting a Forerunner and the flood at the same time. And then the Forerunners like do some crazy shit where they like devolve humanity and put them back on Earth. And then put them as a tier 7 civilization.
That's how we are.
Yeah, they put them back to hunter-gatherers. And then now Foreigners are fighting the flood, and they have to make this, and they don't really know how to fight the flood. There's no cure. So their solution is to create the Halo array. And this is where the Halo name comes from.
Whoa.
Because it's a series of
waiting.
super weapons, these giant rings that are planet-sized rings that are spread throughout the galaxy. And when they're activated, they basically just...
Like a safe house?
No, they kill all life in the galaxy. It's fully the
Yeah.
opposite concept.
They're just
actually.
doing a gigantic
Wow.
self-delete on the galaxy.
Yeah, and the way that
Oh.
and so they do that, but the way that they like save all the species, all the intelligent species and stuff, is they do kind of like that seed place in Norway or something.
Yeah.
They do kind of like an equivalent of
Oh,
that, and then after the Halo array fires, they like put all of those species back on their planets and stuff like that.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
So,
Whoa.
and the first Halo game is like Earth, like discovering one of the Halo rings.
Yeah.
So it literally starts off and you're like, what is this?
Yeah,
And
they're like, what the is going on here?
So then is
Cool.
one of the games you're going backwards in time to learn all that history?
No, this
or
is just
that's
all
just...
lore. This is just all lore. That you learn this over the course of the games
Oh,
and stuff
okay.
like that. And like there was like this whole thing where when humanity got devolved, there was this Forerunner character called the Librarian who like kind of like was sort of like the protector of humanity in a way because she actually like gave a shit. Whereas this other guy, the Didact, he was like, "F these guys, we should just genocide these And she was like, no, don't do that. And so she it was weird. It was like she put stuff in humanity's DNA to eventually develop stuff like the battle armor and like Cortado and and stuff
I got
like
that one.
So
whoa. So in the show, what's crazy about Cortado is the actor in season 1 gets replaced in season 2.
I love
and everyone's
the actor
like,
in
what
season
the hell?
1.
I liked her too.
She was way better.
So I don't know why she got...
Respectfully to the actor who plays her in season 2. I'm
she
sure you're a
was
very nice person.
She was the voice in the video game.
Yeah.
So then I don't know why she got replaced.
I don't know either. I think that it was a
Contract disputes.
I think that's always a possibility. Yeah, I guess you guys as actors probably would know more about how it could go
it could
wrong
be
with.
anything.
Yeah.
She could have booked another
Do you
show.
not categorize yourself as an actor?
I just haven't really been doing it that much.
Oh.
I guess I have a little bit recently,
Yeah.
but like, when I was in high school, I was doing like the theater and like I was doing the musicals
Very
and stuff,
nice.
and now I was like, I do acting, but now I'm a fucking
What were you cast
YouTuber.
as all the time in theater? Dad?
Huh? No, not
Anyone
really.
who was tall?
I don't know. I got in junior year. I got the part of dirty old man in Sweet Charity.
There you go.
Yeah, so
That's the lead.
the lead of Sweet Charity.
That's the lead.
His name. Yeah, because he's a dirty old man and he's running a charity.
Wow.
Yeah, and he's
Halo
like,
dump.
I'm so dirty, but the kids need to eat.
He's my favorite Halo
Wow.
character.
Yeah, dirty old man.
Sure. Dirty old man.
Yeah.
He's pretty good. He's got
there's-
that laser blade.
I feel like how we do it on time because I've been talking about this for a while, and 51. So
Okay.
what else do you want to know?
Well,
Ask me anything about Halo.
Do you play as Master Chief in all of them?
In all the Halos?
Yeah.
No, in Halo ODST, you play as an ODST.
What's an ODST?
They're like people who come down on drop pods. They're sort of like, they're like MARSOC or Navy SEALs equivalent.
Oh, okay.
But they're not like Spartans. Spartans like a super level.
So they're not a superhuman.
Yeah, they're not a
Kind of a
superhuman.
regular guy.
Yeah, Master Chief is a Spartan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty up how the Spartan program was started.
Yeah, really sad. They took him as kids.
Yeah, they took them as kids and they replaced them. The children, they stole
They're
children
like
from their families,
spirit.
and then they replaced the children with flash clones,
Uh-huh.
which are clones that will die very soon after. So basically, for the families, it's like their child just kind of suddenly died.
So they didn't know that their child was
No, they
replaced.
didn't. They just
No.
assumed their
That's
child.
wild.
They're like,
I did
oh my
not
God,
know
my
that.
child just died. It's really sad.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that happened in the show too. So she's
Wow.
being legit right
It
now.
did. It happened in the show. They had a bunch of clones, and then not a bunch, but like you'd watch the clone, and the clone is like living a life, being like, "Oh, everything's fine," and then they die.
Yeah.
And so it's like, "Oh my God, my child died." So they never have to wonder if they were
And
taken.
the clone has no idea they're a clone.
Yeah.
well,
Which is
watch the show.
well, yeah. The clone.
What?
Now I'm forgetting about how
The clone. Oh yeah, watch the show.
Oh, God.
I
don't-
know everyone's
I-
like, "Don't watch the show."
I don't know too much about because I watched the show a while ago and I don't really. I wasn't really.
I only watched, I think, the first season and then the second season. And after the second season, I was like, all right, Master Chief,
Yeah.
we're good.
Yeah, but Master Chief, he's pretty cool. He's he's strong. I'm like losing steam
No,
for my own
you-
information
No, I
here.
think
You've done
I think
great.
We're good. I think.
Really? You're
yeah,
good?
I think we can
we-
wrap this up.
No, I
learned
got
a
more to
lot.
say.
No.
So
I think we actually have
the
to
Healy.
wrap it. No.
You guys
Okay.
want-
Yeah.
I want to hear your dumps.
I was just going to... This was finally my excuse to talk about books here.
You do.
I don't really go in on books.
Talk about books.
When have I talked about books?
You talk about books every day.
Not a here.
You know, there's like 40 Halo novels.
I do know that.
Really?
Yeah, because
Brian David Gilbert.
Brian David Gilbert did the whole
Yeah.
deep dive on them.
All right,
Yeah.
let's talk about. I would love to. No, I mean it. Now I'm like, now I sound like
didn't sound
no. Here's
real.
the thing. Now I sound like an asshole.
Well, you do, and because when you said it, you were like, "I would love to. I would love.
I'm a
to hear
asshole
about your
forever
book."
at
I want to
heart.
hear about your books.
I do too.
Because you messaged me. I responded to your DMs.
Yeah.
Or no,
I
I
need-
DM'd you.
So I need to go through those, and I need to. because you suggested books specifically,
Yeah.
right? I need to order those because basically what I was doing is I was filling a bookshelf, so I basically made a close friend story. You know, if you
Whoa.
responded to my message, you might be on it.
I need
But
to go back. Whoops.
I asked everyone. I was like,
Whoopsies.
send me some books, and then pretty much anyone who responded, I just ordered the book.
So you filled a bookshelf full of books that you have not read.
Yeah. So now I can just go through them and I can just read, and I know that
That's
these
intense.
are all.
Did he
I
say
know they're just-
Yellowface?
No, I did not recommend Yellowface because you were
Right now, I'm reading Just Kids by Patti Smith.
Oh, I don't know that one.
I think her last name is Smith.
Whoa,
What?
I know.
Patti Smith, singer.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. It's like autobiography about artists that I wasn't aware of. So I'm like reading it without the context, and then
Might be.
but it's a
I don't do a ton of.
I need to keep
autobiographies.
reading it. I need to keep reading it, but it's
Yeah.
good. I mean, it's well written. I think it's one of those things where it's like I hadn't read books in like years, and
Sure.
so it was nice to like go back into a book and then see a word I hadn't
Ever seen
before, and then learn it that way because I feel like I have a pretty good vocabulary, and that's because I used to read all the time.
Oh,
And then I just kind of stopped
You
reading.
went on the internet.
Yeah, I
Too
went on
much.
when did you stop reading?
When did I stop reading? Probably when I got out of high school.
That's so funny because it was like the flip for me because I hated reading as a kid. I
What?
didn't want to touch books. I despised it. I like hardly read anything. And then it was around like 16 when I just was like, I need to read books. I was like, I got to get into
Now
this.
you read so
and
many
so
books.
I started reading, and then I was like, I'm gonna just go in. Like I'm gonna start with like a bunch of classics, and then ever since I've just always been reading books.
It's like gotta be good for you.
It's very
I
good
think
for you.
It's gotta be
so.
good for you,
And
right?
you read books. You don't audio.
I do audiobooks. I do
Do
audiobooks
audio.
for nonfiction. I prefer audio for nonfiction because then if I lose track for a second, it's not the end of the world. Whereas fiction, if you don't pay attention for like a beat,
Yeah.
then you come back and you're like, wait,
What happened?
Who is this guy? Whereas nonfiction, I'm like, okay, I come back, but I understand what we're talking about.
What are you reading right now?
I just started a book that you might like. I started a mystery that just got released. That's pretty acclaimed right now. It's called The God of the Woods, and it takes
Oh.
place in the 70s, and it's at a summer camp, and this girl goes missing. Like one
Oh,
morning,
I
they wake
love
up and
summer
she's,
camp
she's not
missing.
she's not in her bunk, and it's the daughter of the
course.
parents who own the summer camp.
Of course.
Oh,
And it's like,
no, the air.
where'd she go? And then it's also revealed that 14 years earlier, her brother disappeared at that summer camp too, and nobody knows what happened.
You know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of Boy in the Woods by Harlan Coben that I
The
read
Woods,
forever
man.
ago. And Netflix did a show about it, and it was not American, it was international. And I loved it.
Oh.
And it was so good. And it was literally a boy went missing in his bunk. So anyways,
can't be
God
true.
in the Woods.
The God of the Woods.
This actually
really
sounds
good.
really good.
Yeah, but I read all sorts of stuff all the time. I'm also listening to a book called Filter World, which is about algorithms and how they affect culture. And
This is nonfiction or fiction?
this is nonfiction, but it's fascinating.
Imagine.
It's talking about like just every element of it. I'm not too far into that, but I love that type of stuff.
Whoa.
I had earlier read something similar to an autobiography. I read The House of My Mother, which is by
yeah.
the daughter of Ruby Franke, the
Vlogger, family vlogger.
vlogger.
Whoa.
Where
From Salt Lake City?
yeah, or
Utah?
from Utah.
Wait.
This
well,
was a-
I feel
this
like a
was-
lot of family vloggers from Utah.
This one went
yeah,
to
there
jail
are.
recently.
She-
Blonde.
Yeah, for
Because
horrendous stuff.
wasn't there another Utah family vlogger that something happened with them? And
It was
this
her,
was like a year or so ago.
Her and her therapist.
This was crazy. But it's a great book because she wrote it and in the audiobook she reads it, and so which I always prefer. Like with memoirs and autobiographies, I like audiobooks. It's like them doing it. Like Jeanette McCurdy's book.
Yeah.
She's reading it and stuff. So you're kind of like, I'm like, okay, I get to know how important this was to you. But I'm reading all sorts of stuff. I mean, Yellowface is probably my favorite book from last year.
That's
that
why I
about?
thought that you would recommend that to
I
me.
mean, I recommend that book to anyone. It's by R.F. Kuang, who's my favorite author. She wrote this series called The Poppy War, which is this insane fantasy trilogy. She wrote this other book called Babel, which is really awesome.
Is that the one that they
all
did
fantasy.
the movie on?
No, they're going to do a movie on Yellowface.
Really?
Whoa.
But Yellowface, it's like a thriller, like a cringe thriller is the best way I can describe it.
What makes it cringe?
Okay, slight this isn't spoiler. This is stuff that happens in the first 15 pages. But if you really don't want to know, you can fast forward through this part. But basically, this white woman, she's trying to be an author. She's not having too much success. And a friend of hers, not like super close friend, but just an acquaintance friend. This Asian woman, she is having just hit after hit. She's becoming this acclaimed author. They're hanging out one night, and her friend is showing her like, oh, I have this manuscript for this book that I haven't shown anyone, that I've written out on a typewriter, and it's kind of inspired from the Chinese Revolution in the 1900s, and it's this big epic. And
The Cultural Revolution.
Yeah, and they're hanging out, and they're eating pancakes late at night, and then her friend chokes and dies.
No.
And she's like, "Oh my gosh, my friend died. This is horrible." Also, she has her manuscript. I should look it over, and I can make some edits. Oh, I should publish this under my own name so that I can help her live on. And she's a white woman trying to pass this off, and the whole book is
Cringed.
her. Like, this book is a huge hit because it's a great written book, but it's just everyone being like, so how did you find the inspiration for this? And it's her just having to continue. It is awful. Every page is so devastating because it's so cringy and just
I don't think
tough.
I could read that.
Kiana recommended it, and she had to put it down at one point because she couldn't handle it. It's awesome.
I struggle with that, like a secret.
It's an extremely dark comedy. In a way, but it is so
I'm uncomfortable thinking about that all the implications of that.
It's really messed up. And then it's like, it gets into a lot of things where it's like, the publication company's like, yeah, so, considering the themes of this, her name's like, I forget what the author's name is. It's like Juniper Hayward or something. They're like, we should put it under a pseudonym. You should go by Juniper Song so that people don't know your ethnicity. It's awesome. It is so rough to read, but it is really well written. R.F. Kuang is just like a genius. She just writes. And then what's crazy is The Poppy War, her other trilogy, completely different than that. Like this just insane fantasy epic.
Wow.
Like she's all over the place. And then
that's fun. I mean, that's cool. I like that. I like it when people are just like, I want to do this. And then I kind of want to do this. Like doing one thing all the time.
She's all over the place. She has a book coming out later this year, which is about two academic students who traveled to the underworld to get a letter of recommendation from their dead professor.
That's funny.
Yeah.
Wait, that's amazing.
Yeah. It's called Catabasis. People are like stoked for it. I am. I know I am.
You should do your book reviews on your YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah, he said he was going to in his video. In his first video, the one that you watched, right?
Yeah, I watched a little bit of it. I didn't watch the whole thing.
It was 4 minutes long.
I just
No, it wasn't. No, it wasn't.
My first video was
Hey, skip. What do you?
I don't expect.
Peruse it?
I don't expect anyone
I
to watch
literally
it.
watched. I watched the first 2 minutes.
You
That's
noped out at 2
crazy.
minutes. It showed me that in the analytics. It said, "Hey, this is how much Amanda watched."
This is my issue. I struggle to be on the phone
She
for
got an
too
issue
long.
with you.
No, I struggle to be on the phone for too long. I have a limit on my Instagram.
Do you know what's crazy?
Oh,
is that
you hit
like
your 2
literally
minute mark.
at the beginning of this podcast, you were telling me when I mentioned the Barbie video thing, you were like, That's an hour and 48-minute long video, and you can't get through.
Here's
4
the deal.
minute long
I would
Shayne
But I
video.
get it. Ted's a
I
really
would
good
prepare-
YouTuber, so
no,
it's
no,
all
no,
right.
no. That's not what's happening. I would prepare for that. Whereas yours, I saw that you posted. I was like, ooh, I should watch. And I watched the first 2 minutes. I was like, nice, he's doing it. Goodbye. That's my truth. I love you.
I can't
and
be
I
bad.
think
I
you
can't be
did a
mad at
great
that.
job.
I
was like, oh my God, I get it. Great.
I did not. That's great. That's great. I didn't expect anyone to watch any of it.
I don't like
I don't
this.
care.
I don't like what you're doing. And I don't like, you're great.
Excuse me. You can't be mean to me. I'm a guest.
Yeah.
Yes, I can.
He's our Smegot guest.
I can't believe you.
Okay, don't cry here.
He's never gonna come back, man.
Yeah, he will.
Yeah, I will.
He will.
I do like coming on for Smosh. Every time you guys ask me to do something, I'm like, yeah.
And then you sleep in.
That was one time. And I would not. Honestly, I bring it up more than you guys do. So.
Then you sleep in.
Well,
I made it today, though.
No,
you did make it.
I made it today. You know why? Because you guys gave me a call time of 8:50, so I was aiming for 8:50. You gave me a call time of like 10 a.m. I would have, I
You would
would
have slept through it?
likely.
So 8:50.
When
you're
do
not
you
gonna
wake
sleep
up
through.
usually?
What? Honestly, okay.
Yeah,
I had
put it on
I
him.
had a really strong period where I was waking up at like 8 every day. It was awesome, and I was going to bed at like 10 or 11. I'm falling asleep at like 1 or 2 recently, and it's bad.
Okay.
And I was like looking at how much time I had left to sleep, and I was like, I gotta wake up at 7 if I want to get there at 8:50. And I was like, okay, so I only got like 5 hours of sleep, but that's enough time. Wrong.
No, it's not.
It never is.
Tough.
It never is. I need a cool 8.
I love a cool 8.
Yeah. Well, I think we're out of time.
We're out of time.
Probably good for me because I was gonna rant into other things about books like book talk, but you don't talk about book talk.
No, we should talk about book.
No, you don't. That's the one thing I was gonna talk about. The one thing with book talk is you don't talk about book talk,
Like Fight Club?
Whoa.
lest ye be punished.
By who?
Book talk.
By book talk.
Oh.
In fact, us talking about it, even just mentioning this right now, this could get clipped onto TikTok and we're screwed.
Well,
my God.
well, aren't they like sexually repressed freaks on there? Isn't that like the whole thing with book talk?
Ted, it's been great having
He's
you
on Book Talk. Okay. Ted, thanks for being a guest. It's been great. I've learned a lot.
Thanks.
You're from Massachusetts. We're going to talk
Can
about
I-
that later.
Do I get to plug something?
Plug
Yeah,
whatever you want, man.
please.
I've got a brand new podcast with my best friend Tucker. It's called Take It Easy. You can find us on YouTube as Take It Easy, at Take It Easy Pod, or on Instagram at Take It Easy. Just Take It Easy. We got that at, which is really cool. It's a very fun, and on Spotify and everywhere. Take It Easy.
Take it easy.
That's
Take It
the
Easy.
new podcast, and it's a good time. It's with my best friend of 11 years, Tucker Keene.
Wow.
And we just started. We just launched it on the 4th of February.
Oh,
So,
amazing.
yeah.
I love all the promo photos
Yeah,
you
you
have
like
for it.
that?
I like the houndstooth jacket you got on in them.
Oh,
Pretty
like
good.
the
You got
Houndstooth?
Is that not the pattern of it?
like the tweed thing kind
Tweed.
of thing. Yeah.
Tweed. Yeah.
Is he the one that recommended Sapphire?
Well, I'm the one who recommended Sapphire. He's the one who was like, "Oh, that's a great idea. Women love Sapphire."
You guys need to talk about that in
Take
the
it
podcast.
easy.
We did.
You
We
did?
actually-
Okay,
yeah.
I'm gonna
Oh,
listen.
okay.
On the-
I cannot
can't
wait.
But I
wait
was
to-
like, I feel like this is too funny of a moment to not bring on to other podcasts
course.
and
Yeah.
use.
No, it's
Of
too
course.
good.
No, it's a good marketing
Yeah.
for it.
And what's funny about those photo shoots is that we did a photo shoot for every major U.S. holiday. So because you saw the Valentine's Day one,
Yeah.
So we've got one. There's one for St. Patrick's Day that we did.
Oh.
Like we have one for every single one.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
For Anchor Day or Arbor Day.
I don't know if we have one for Arbor Day, but Arbor Day keeps coming up whenever I talk about this, and I don't know what Arbor Day is.
I don't either.
Same.
Our call out. We have a Smosh Mouth shirt
I've been
that
sweating.
you
in
can
this.
get. Yeah.
Sweating in this.
And one of them, if you buy it, one of them might be the one that Ted sweated.
That's so.
Oh my God, that would be
Gross.
so
No, I'm
awesome.
just
We're gonna
kidding.
wrap it back up. No. we're
Yeah,
not.
you'll never know.
They're gonna go on merch soon.
Oh yeah, it'll be out there.
Yeah, it'll be out there very soon. Oh yeah, when this gets released.
Anyways, Halo.
All right.
Bye.
Bye guys.